For some of you, the way in which you have previously spent money has been emotionally. So how you have processed your emotions to mitigate what you're feeling is to go out and to shop. This is StarLink guidance, and this is a reading for Taurus, Sun, Moon and Rising for December 2023. Please take what resonates and discard the rest. I do my readings intuitively, so I'll begin with some channeled messages for the Taurus collective before I begin pulling cards. Now, what I'm immediately feeling for the Taurus collective is that you have gone through a rapid transformational period. I'm recording this, by the way, in Sagittarius season, and we've just had the full moon in Gemini, and that was 7 days ago. So I feel like a lot of Taurians used Scorpio season to reflect upon all areas of their lives and started to make some really big changes. I feel like because of the fact that the Scorpio energy represents death, there was a lot of endings and culminations that the Taurians were experiencing. And I feel like Taurus had to go within in order to reflect on their values, reflect on what they valued both personally and also professionally. I feel like for a lot of Taurus, whether it's sun, moon or rising, I feel like you've gone through a particular period of time in which you've had to reevaluate the relationships within your life. Because you've gone through a deep change and transformation yourself, your values have changed. So you've had to reevaluate whether the relationships that you've had prior to your changes are reflecting the person that you are now. I feel like some Taurians have had to end relationships both personally, romantically and also professionally in order to step into their power and also to move into the next chapter and journey that they are going into. I feel like there were some relationships that Taurians were entering into that were codependent in nature and not reciprocal, and therefore Taurus has had to learn to pull back their energy and place that energy firmly back into themselves and spend time focusing on what they want, what they need, what's going to help them to move forward. And in having this epiphany and this realization, I feel like Taurus has been making some strides towards the goals that they have, both professionally, creatively, and also for some of you romantically. So I'm going to begin by shuffling my deck. So this is for Taurus, Sun, Moon and Rising. I'm going to ask my angels, ancestors and guides to step forward to give the messages for Taurus, Sun, Moon and Rising for December 2023. Let the messages be for their highest vibrational good, and let the messages be for their spiritual, emotional and material development. What are the messages that are most prominent for Taurus, Sun, Moon and Rising? Whoa. So the first card that's just flicked out is the Five of Pentacles. I'm going to continue to shuffle. We've got the Death card. We have the Nine of Swords, but we've got this in the reverse position, so this is beautiful. I'm going to pull some more cards. We have the Five of Swords. And I'm just going to clarify before I begin reading. So we've got 2 5s here. Quite significant changes. Clarify the Five of Pentacles, please. We've got the Sun. Clarify the Death card. We have the Moon. Clarify the Nine of Swords reversed. We have the Seven of Cups. And clarify the Five of Swords, please. Okay, so we have, we've got the Ten of Swords. A lot of swords energy. Right, let's start off with the bottom of the deck energy. So the bottom of the deck energy is the 10 of Wands. So we've got 2 5s and we've got 2 10s that are present in this reading, which is extremely significant. The 5s represent changes, but the 10s represent endings and culminations. You've come to the end, Taurus, of a very tiresome and burdensome journey. I feel like these 10 wands represents people that you may have been carrying emotionally or energetically. And this could actually tie into relationships that you may have had with people that were codependent in nature, which were starting to drain on your own personal energy. And I feel like this 10 of wands represents that cycle closing out and a new journey beginning. I definitely feel like with this 10 of wands being present, things are about to get better because it's now reached a period of time in which the peak of what you were feeling emotionally has now come to its ending. So you're about to enter a deep period of transformation. I feel like for some Tauruses, they have been experiencing a lot of issues with regards to finances. It may have been that there was a need for more finances or an increase in finance to occur. I feel like for some Taurians as well, there was a need for you to let go of certain relationships because these relationships were not conducive to your highest vibrational good. It meant that you were taking away time, energy, and effort to be able to help others. So I feel like there was a lot of sort of martyrdom or self-sacrificing that you were doing for others, but not necessarily receiving that back. So I don't feel like some of the relationships that you were entering into where you were placing your time, your energy, and your effort were reciprocal. But I feel like now you've started to understand and you've started to retreat back into yourself and you've had a period of deep reflection and contemplation. You've started to understand that some of those relationships were actually detrimental to your progression, and you've had to place boundaries around those particular relationships and allow them to come to a natural ending. I feel like for a lot of Taurians, there was this energy of nostalgia in which you were trying to hold on to these relationships, but because you've gone through a deep period of transformation within your own values, you're starting to understand that those same people and spaces that you occupied before are ones that you have now outgrown, and they can now they're no longer able to step into the spaces and places that you're going to be entering from now onwards. Okay, so we're going to begin with the 5 of Pentacles, which starts your reading. This is talking about 5s are all about changes, and the 5 of Pentacles is talking about a change within your material world. So I definitely feel like for some Taurians, they could have gone through a time or a period in which money may have been tight. There could be a change within regards to your focus or your job. So I do feel like some Taurians have actually started to step into their power, in which they're recognizing that the role that they have been working in is not what they desire to do. It's not something that utilizes their talents, abilities, or gifts, and they're now starting to redirect their time, their energy, and their efforts into the things that they desire the most and what they're most passionate about. I feel like Taurians have gone through a deep period of reflection in which they have been having memories of childhood or nostalgic memories in which they have been thinking about the things that gave them happiness and joy when they were a child. The reason why I believe this is because we have the sun here. The sun represents Leo energy. The sun is about our conscious self, it's about our ego, but it's also about our creative expression. And I feel like with the 5 of Pentacles and being confirmed by the sun, there has been a focus or a realignment on the talents, the gifts, and the activities that gave you joy, happiness, pleasure, the ones that allowed you to step into the creative version of yourself. I feel like there may have been a timeline in which a lot of Taurians have been working in professional environments, ones that do pay well, but not ones that give them the joy or the happiness or the fulfillment that they have been desiring. But as a result of actually spending a lot more time being a bit more reclusive and spending time on their own, by themselves, reflecting, they have rediscovered their passion or their talents for something. For some of you, you may be creating art right now. For some of you, it may be something to do with design. Some of you may even be looking to study something or embark on some sort of course that's going to elevate your talents. For some of you, this may be performance art, such as acting. It could be dance. For others of you, it could be musical. So it could be writing song lyrics or actually playing an instrument. For others of you, it could be like design based. So I see some people actually at a computer actually designing. So it could be that you're designing products. But I definitely feel like whatever you're reconnecting with at the moment is you tapping into your heart chakra space, and whatever it is that you're working on is giving you the most amount of joy and pleasure. So I feel like this is what the focus has been with Taurus. Taurus has been spending more time alone, focusing on themselves. Now, the Death card is here. The Death card represents Scorpio energy, and the Death card, Scorpio energy, is on an axis to Taurus. So Scorpio is the sister sign of Taurus. I feel like there has been a deeply transformative period, which has meant that the Taurus collective has spent a lot of time by themselves, really tapping into their intuition and really analyzing their values, what gives them happiness and what gives them joy. They have been re-evaluating their relationships, but I also see, because of the fact that the Death card represents the 8th house, they have been tapping into their intuition on a deeper level. Some of you may have been focusing on, going into more occult practices. So it might be that you're developing your spiritual practices. Some of you may be developing a interest in maybe tarot or maybe astrology or some other occult practice. I also feel like there has been a firm focus on creating a new stream of income, because the 8th house also represents other people's resources. So I definitely feel with the 5 of Pentacles and with the Death card, it's about refocusing your energy on your finances and looking at potential new income streams. For some of you, this also means that there may have been some sort of debt that you may have had to repay. Or you may be repaying in the month of December. This is also possibly about understanding that for some of you, the way in which you have previously spent money has been emotionally. So how you have processed your emotions to mitigate what you're feeling is to go out and to shop. And it might be that you're starting to understand that this pattern is self-sabotaging, and you're working towards changing this, because you're starting to understand that you need to sit and process your emotions without needing anything else outside of accepting what it is that you're currently feeling. So this is what I feel like the Death card is talking about. And the reason why I say this is because of the fact that the moon is here. Now, the moon represents Pisces energy, but it also in astrology represents Cancerian energy. The moon, from a Piscean perspective, represents the 12th house of endings and beginnings. And remember, the Death card also represents transformation. So this card also represents endings. So this is talking about the ending of feeling a particular emotion. For some of you, the way I'm feeling this particular moon card is it's talking about something that you may have as almost like this program that you have emotionally embodied, that may be something that you learned from childhood or something that may be ancestral in terms of how you've processed your emotions. The moon is also talking about the need to be able to explore the things that you fear the most. So instead of mitigating your emotions through retail therapy, actually sitting with your emotions and processing them and understanding why you are behaving the way you are behaving and what triggers that particular behavior. So I feel like there's been some deep psychological analysis that you have been going through over your patterns of behavior and your patterns of spending. I also feel like with this moon card, it's talking about the fact that what you fear the most is actually going to give you the strength to be able to pursue what it is that you desire. The moon card expressed in Piscean energy is all about understanding that there are two sides to our consciousness. There is a fear consciousness and there is a faith consciousness, but we have to be willing to face the things that scare us the most in order to transform that energy and to move towards the things that we desire. Dreams and illusions and our fears are all wrapped up in the Neptune energy or the Pisces energy. So there is a need for us to be able to sit with and explore what it is that we are fearing in order to move forward. And I feel like the Taurus collective in December is going to be moving towards a time in which they are going to be facing the things that they are scared of the most. For some of you, there is a fear of loneliness. For others of you, there is a fear around money. So there's a poverty consciousness that is coming up. There's also this fear of not being able to achieve your dreams. You need to take the first steps towards what it is that you want in order to move forward. And I feel like in December, you're going to be conquering your fears with regards to your money, with regards to achieving your dreams, with regards to creating stability and security for yourself emotionally. And you're going to understand that you don't need anything outside of yourself to do that. And what tells me that I feel like you're going to be sort of identifying these self-sabotaging thoughts or these self-limiting beliefs that you hold on to is we have the Nine of Swords, but we have this in the reverse position. Now, the Nine of Swords is the card in which there may be nightmares, there may be feelings of stress, there may be feelings of being overwhelmed. There are 1,000,001 thoughts that you may be having at any one time and feeling like you're unable to cope with either the thoughts or having a thought around having to cope with the responsibilities that you may have. And this being something that has been causing either overwhelm or fatigue, sleepless nights, or nightmares for some of you. But with the Nine of Swords in the reverse, it means that you have started to get to the core issue as to why you are thinking in the way that you are thinking. And you're starting to get to understanding that root cause, that belief actually doesn't exist. And actually it's a facade or a lie that has been in your subconscious and controlling the way in which you behave or the way in which you react. And because of this, you're starting to understand that there are no limitations that we have except the limitations that we impose on ourselves. And because of this, we now have the Seven of Cups, which is Venus in Scorpio, which is talking about the fact that you have faced a lot of the fears that you hold within, and now you are presented with a number of different opportunities in which you can move forward towards what it is that you want creatively. For some of you, it could be romantically. For others of you, it could be professionally. But the message here is about paying close attention to your intuition. Rather than focusing on your thoughts, you're now starting to pay attention to your intuition. Pay attention to how your body is feeling. Pay attention to the pangs that you may be getting in your gut that's telling you that actually this is something that you want to do. Actually, this is something that you enjoy, and you're actually in alignment with where you're supposed to be right now. I feel like for some Taurians as well, with the Five of Swords being here, there has definitely been an inconsistency around what it is that you want to move towards. And I feel like you've had a lot of conflicting thoughts around whether to continue within some of the relationships that you have been in. For some of you, it could be whether you want to continue within the profession that you are working in. I feel like this Five of Swords has been the back and forth conversations that have been going on in a loop in your head around what to do that has rendered you powerless in terms of moving forward. But I feel like with the Ten of Swords being here, you've overcome it. The Ten of Swords tells me that this particular confusion around what relationships to keep and what relationships to discard has now been clarified. I feel like for some of you, you've discovered that some of the relationships that you had were no longer good for you. Some of the people that you had in your network were no longer good for you. I feel like what you've discovered is that some of those people didn't have your best interests at heart and were dishonest, or may have done something to betray you in some way, either personally or professionally. And because of the fact that you now have gained the clarity over this, it's allowed you to move forward. For others of you, this is about understanding that you have been confused for a while around what you want to do professionally, because you're starting to understand that the job that you're currently doing does not give you the emotional satisfaction or fulfillment that you desire. Now you have been given the clarity and the go ahead to move towards what it is that you want, because what you have done with the 5 of Swords and the 10 of Swords is you have conquered your self-limiting thought or your self-sabotaging belief that you may have carried. You've gotten to the root cause of it and you have let this go. You've released this. So now you're moving into a cycle this month in which you are starting to work towards what you are building. This is absolutely beautiful energy. I'm going to pull some more cards. Taurus, Sun, Moon and Rising for December 2023. Right, so we've got the 3 of Swords. Yep, this is the end of a relationship or a business relationship for some of you. We've got the 8 of Swords. Taurus, Sun, Moon and Rising. We've got the 3 of Pentacles. I'm going to pull one more card for Taurus, Sun, Moon and Rising for December 2023. One more card. Thank you. Okay, so we've got the Chariot. Okay. And we've got the Strength card at the base of the deck. You've had to be bold, you've had to be brave, you've had to be courageous, and you're being asked to dig deep and go into that energy of strength that you hold and be bold and brave and courageous this particular month. I feel like there is a discovery that Taurus, Sun, Moon and Rising is making. I think Taurus, Sun, Moon and Rising with this 3 of Swords here, which represents Saturn and Libra, not only represents what I was discussing before, the end of a relationship. For some of you, this is the end of a professional relationship where you are walking away and letting go of an old job because it no longer serves you. For some of you, this 3 of Swords represents the ending of a romantic relationship or a friendship because of some sort of deception or betrayal. For some of you, it could even be with this 8 of Swords here, that there was a lot of confusion and untruths that were being told by multiple sides, and you've had to sit by yourself to listen to your intuition, because it's almost as if to say, when somebody tells you something, you want to believe what they're telling you, but your body is telling you something completely different. Pay attention to what your body or your intuition is telling you. So this is about moving in a new direction. This is about letting go of old relationships and old friendships. This is about moving away for some of you from an old company or corporation or business or organization, or even for some of your profession, because it's actually something that is not in alignment with who you are or what it is that you want with this 8 of Swords. It's making you feel limited. It's making you feel trapped. It's making you feel, for some of you, overwhelmed or overworked. With regards to a relationship, this relationship is not healthy for you because it's causing you to overthink to the point where you're feeling quite anxious or stressed. So you're moving away from that in December. You're letting this go, whether it's a business relationship, a partnership, or a romantic relationship. You are moving away because with this 3 of Pentacles, you're moving towards something that is new, something that is stable, something that is more secure. This represents Mars in Capricorn. So Mars represents the energy of the conscious self and also our ego, but it also represents the energy of our goals, our desires, our passions. And it means working hard towards our goals, our desires, and our passions. So I feel like there's going to be a new opportunity for some of you to build a new relationship or build a new professional network. If this is what this is coming up as, this could represent a new business partnership or contract. For some of you, this could also represent a new romantic relationship that may be coming towards you. But this is about you actually holding up your values and understanding that you're no longer going to be entertaining anything that doesn't align with the values that you hold, because Capricorn energy is all about limitations, time and boundaries, and Capricorns are very good at being able to implement boundaries around their time and understanding what is for them and discarding things that are not for them, whether it's people, places or spaces. So this is really good, and I feel like you're learning this lesson. With the Chariot card being present here as well, it's talking about you stepping into a time in which you are gaining momentum towards the direction that you are going in. You're pursuing the things that give you the most amount of happiness, joy, pleasure. For some of you, this could represent, with the Three of Pentacles before, this could represent a new business, this could represent a new partnership, but this could also represent a new home. For some of you, it may be that a relationship has come to an end and it means that you have to depart or separate, because the Ten of Swords does talk about separation, as does the Three of Swords. So it could be that for some of you, you're actually moving into a new home, which is absolutely beautiful. I'm really pleased to say that Taurus has gone through a really difficult time period, but Taurus is now coming out the other end. And in December, you're going to start to see the benefits of the changes that you have had to make, the boundaries that you've had to implement, the people that you've had to let go of, the places that you've had to stop attending in order to focus on what really makes you feel happiness and pleasure again, and just living your life based on your own terms. So this is amazing. I think that this is just one way in which you're able to move towards what is putting you in alignment with who you truly are and what you're supposed to do in this lifetime. Okay, I'm going to pull some cards to close out the messages for Taurus, Sun, Moon and Rising for December 2023. What are the messages for Taurus, Sun, Moon and Rising for 10? Right, so the first card that we've got is Release Jealousy. I'll talk about that in a moment. Taurus, Sun, Moon and Rising. We have Exercise to increase energy and manifestation. I'm going to pull two more cards. Taurus, Sun, Moon and Rising. We've got Conscious Consumer. And we've got Take a Divinely Guided Chance. We're going to talk about all of these. Base of the deck. Cooperation instead of competition. This is really about moving towards what it is that you desire, but understanding that even if you're doing something that someone has already done before, there is space for everyone. You are able to access abundance for yourself. There is never a shortage of abundance. And at the end of the day, what's happening for you is that a lot of the partnerships that you have been wanting, either professionally or romantically, you're going to start to see coming towards you in the month of December. This is where you're starting to see where there are no limitations around what you're able to accomplish, what you're able to achieve, or even the joy that you're able to feel. So you're going to start to feel this energy coming in, particularly when Capricorn season starts. You're going to feel it even more. So this is beautiful. Okay, let's talk about your closing messages. We've got Release Jealousy here. This isn't necessarily the energy of jealousy when this comes, but it's also understanding that you may be having this victimhood energy, which is, why hasn't it happened to me? Why haven't I got what I want? And you're being told to let that go, because what you're saying, when you start to understand that everything happens based on a time and a season, and understanding that it might not be your season yet because there's still work to do, it makes it easier to be able to celebrate the successes that other people have. And also it's about understanding that everybody's journey is bespoke. What's for someone else is for them. What's for you is for you. Blessings can't be taken away based on somebody else's achievements. So this is what you're being told to let go of. In addition to that, you're being told to really focus on exercising. The exercising will be quite helpful for you to release any types of energy or frustration that you might be feeling with inside. This will also help you to manifest better. But whilst you're exercising, you also need to be conscious of what you're consuming. So there may be a need for you to change your diet at this particular time. To ground your energy, because of the fact that there's a lot of swords here. So there's been a lot of overthinking. You may want to start to drink more water, stay away from dairy, eat more fruit, eat more vegetables. So if you're exercising, make sure that the diet is commensurate of the exercise that you're doing so that you can reap the rewards. The intuition lies in our gut, and it's important for us to be able to focus on gut health and making sure you've got the right things going into your digestive system, making sure you've got your probiotics, making sure you're consuming like protein. Cut back on the meat if you have been consuming a lot of meat, maybe try to eat lighter. If you can't go for more vegetables, then maybe opting for fish more and cutting down the consumption of meat in order to help you. What you'll start to feel is that your energy will rise, and then what you'll start to do is you'll be able to manifest what it is that you desire a lot quicker just from diet and exercise alone. And for some of you, it might be that you've been very self-indulgent with the sweets. So I would cut back on the sweets because they aren't necessarily nutritionally good for you, but also too much sugar can limit your ability to manifest as well. So cut back on the sugar. Now, this is the best message of all. This says, take a divinely guided chance. So I'm really excited about this. This is about the fact that you're going to be stepping into a period in which you're going to be collaborating with others. I definitely see a business partnership on the horizon or a new contract. This may not necessarily be something that you've done before, but this might be something that you've always desired. Take the opportunity that is being presented to you and understand that what it is that you've asked for is now starting to be presented to you, but it's for you to recognize what opportunities are for you. This is absolutely going to help you in your journey to creating life on your own terms. This is also something that's going to allow you to showcase your talents creatively. For some of you, I'm getting the strong energy of events planning. For others of you, this is going to be something that you may not have necessarily done before. So it could be fashion design, it could be interior design, it could also be something within the media. So I'm seeing either like maybe videos, creating videos, maybe editing videos. I definitely feel, or it could be something to do with film. Whatever it happens to be that you're starting to embark on creatively, know that the universe is going to take 10 steps towards you if you take 10 steps towards the universe, or even one step. But it's about taking the chance. Take the chance and the opportunity that is being presented to you in the month of December, because this particular opportunity is going to change your whole trajectory. Now, just because I want to find out what opportunity may be coming towards the Taurus collective, I'm going to pull from my Life Purpose Oracle. So what is the opportunity that is coming towards Taurus in the month of December? So we've got flowers here. We've got creative expression. Why do I feel like for some of you it's going to be set design? Wow. Okay. We've got trust. Whoops. We've got children. And we've also got light and love. The base of the deck is you're on the right path. Keep doing what you're doing because it's working. Okay. This is about trusting what you're doing. For some of you, you could be moving into a business where you're becoming a florist. For some of you, it could be flower arranging. For others of you, it could be set design or fashion design that you're going into. It's going to be something in which you are using your hands to create something. So this is amazing. You could be building or making something. So fashion design, interior design, starting your own flower arranging business. It could also be events planning. I'm really getting this strong energy of events planning. So it could be things like baby showers, weddings. What I'm seeing here is also creative expression. So some of you may be delving into projects that are more art-based. It could be painting, it could be drawing, it could be recording, it could be film, it could be film editing. Is what I'm seeing here. For others of you, it could be writing a screenplay, writing a story, writing a book. I definitely feel like for some of you, this is going to be about writing. For others of you, with this light and love, whatever it is that you're actually creating is really important in raising the collective conscious and raising the energy and the vibration of this planet. The reason being is because when you're able to overcome the adversity that you have been facing in order to step into your power and align with your true purpose, you inspire others to be able to do the same thing, because your life is a testimony in which you are modeling what it is that you're able to overcome in order to step into what it is that you want, which means that it gives people no excuses to not pursue their dreams or their goals. This is absolutely beautiful. We've got here trust. which is about paying attention to what it is that you feel, paying attention to your intuition, which has come out in your reading. This is all about listening to that guidance and paying attention to the signs, the symbols, and the synchronicities. Some of you may be going through a period in which you are having recurring dreams. It might be worth sitting down and recording your dreams and interpreting what those meanings are, because everything that you're being shown in your dream is to either show you, guide you, or warn you. So pay attention to what it is that you're actually seeing in your dreams. Those messages are there for a reason. For some of you, you may be going into a new direction with this trust and this love and light. Some of you may be going into some sort of career in the occult, maybe mediumship. For some of you may be going into, I don't know, maybe tarot reading or becoming astrologers is what I'm also seeing for some. For others of you, I feel like you're going to be going into teaching. For some of you, you may be teaching children. You may be working in a school. You may be going back to school to study in order to teach children. For some of you, you may be going into a more holistic practice. Some of you may be going into a more therapeutic practice in which you may be a counselor or a therapist for children. I definitely feel like whatever it is that you're doing is going to have an impact on children. For some of you with this creative expression in children, it could be that you're going to become an author of a children's book. You might be writing stories about your life and repurposing them so children can learn life lessons. So that's quite a lot there. I hope that this has been helpful for you, Taurus. Please feel free to write in the comments how this has resonated with you. And I will see you again very soon for your January 2024 Tarot Scope. Season's greetings, and I'll see you soon. Bye.